What if I told you, the mighty Benin kingdom almost disappeared because of one man's anger? And it was saved, not by an army, not by a warrior, but by a woman who chose to be buried alive. In Africa we say, when the roots of a tree begin to decay, it spreads death to the branches. This is the story of a king whose anger rotted the roots of his kingdom, and the queen who became the soil that healed it. There are stories the drums still remember, even when men forget. Long before maps were drawn of Africa, before foreign ships touched the shores of the Guinea coast, there stood a kingdom wrapped in forest and mystery. Benin. A kingdom of red earth, sacred bronze, and warrior kings. A city whose walls were said to stretch farther than a man could walk in a day. In Benin, the Oba was not just a ruler. He was law. He was power. He was life and death. And in the early 1700s, a young king ascended that throne. His name was Oba Ewuakpe. He was strong. Too strong. He was fearless. But he was impatient and quick to anger. From the very beginning, his rule trembled with tension.
How dare you defy me? I'll face my wrath!
When his mother, the Queen Mother Uwebonoza, still lived, her wisdom softened his temper. She was the cool water to his flame.
Mother, I will not stand for this.
My son, anger clouds your judgment.
But they mock our strength.
Patience. My king, your anger clouds your judgment. Be calm.
You are right, elder. I will heed your words.
My king, the ancestors whisper wisdom to those who listen.
I am listening, elder. Guide me.
Trust the path of unity. Patience, dear. Okay, mother.
Then tragedy struck. The Queen Mother died. And with her death, died the only voice that softened the king's heart. Grief consumed Ewuakpe. But his grief became cruelty. At her funeral, the chiefs came, dressed in white to mourn. The king saw insult instead of respect. In rage, he ordered their execution.
Gods, kill them all! Kill them all! Let their blood soak the stones!
Blood stained the palace grounds. The chiefs fled. Fear turned to anger. Anger turned to rebellion. The whispers began. Enough. The ISA, powerful, patient, wounded by an old love, gathered the chiefs in secret. They swore never to bow again. No more homage. Loyalty disappeared. No more king. And just like that, the palace became empty. Servants fled. Wives disappeared. Chiefs vanished. Drums stopped beating. The Oba of Benin, once feared by thousands, returned home to silence and dust. Except for one heartbeat. Queen Iden. She did not live. She was young. Beautiful. With eyes that held more strength than most warriors. She had been offered freedom. She had been persuaded to live. But she refused. When a woman marries the Oba, she said, she does not return home.
No one climbs the tree the viper has climbed.
The great king was reduced to a lonely man. No food. No honor. No dignity. He traveled to his mother's village, seeking help. They mocked him. They refused him water. Even his loyal sword-bearer died of starvation. Imagine that. An Oba carrying his own sword. For when pride walks ahead of a man, shame follows close behind. Broken and bitter, he returned to the empty palace. Still, Iden was waiting. He begged her to leave.
You have no child for me. Go, leave again.
My king, I'm going nowhere.
She would not abandon him. When hope had almost left the palace, Iden did something no one speaks about enough. She removed the wrapper from her body, her last possession of value, and sold it in the market for 7 cowries. 7. With that small coin, she brought a diviner. The oracle spoke.
Spirits of the ancients, heed our call. To restore throne, the illusion of loyalty must return. Burnt torches, broken calabashes. Signs that the people have resumed their duty. But a life must seal it.
They searched for someone. Anyone. No one could be found. Midnight was approaching. The sacrifice would lose its power. The king accepted defeat. But Iden did not. She looked at her husband and offered herself.
I will be the sacrifice. What is my life if your throne falls? If our kingdom dies?
She chose the marketplace as her burial ground. And she made one final request.
If this sacrifice works, then no one must step on my grave.
That night, under torchlight and ancestors watching, Queen Iden walked to the marketplace. Some say she was buried alive. Some say ritual hands took her breath. The truth lives with the ancestors. By morning, something had changed. At dawn, the chief Isobon saw burnt torches, broken calabashes, signs of loyalty, ritual signs outside the palace. He believed the people had returned to serve the king. Fearing political disadvantage, he rushed to reconcile. Then the ISA followed. Then other chiefs. Then villages. Fear of being left behind moved them faster than pride ever had. The jungle was cleared. The palace was restored. The throne stood firm again. The rebellion dissolved. And Oba Ewuakpe was king once more. But he was not the same man. Grief had carved wisdom into him. He changed the law of succession forever. Only the first son would inherit the throne. Stability replaced chaos. And the Benin monarchy survived centuries. All because of one woman. Queen Iden. If you didn't know about Queen Iden before today, share this video, because this story deserves to be heard. Her love restored a kingdom. Her sacrifice saved a throne. Her loyalty shaped history. More than 300 years later, her grave still stands beside Oba Market in Benin City. Silent. Guarded. Unforgotten. That is where she rests. Every February 14th, the people of Benin honor her, not for Valentine's Day, but for Iden's Day.